That's the effective prayer we're all looking for. That's the focus in Salah that we are all desperately in search of. But that leads to the question, and the first question that some people here might have. Some people probably understand that that's why I should pray. Some people here might have the question, like I asked in the khutbah earlier today, well brother, I pray 5 times a day. I've been praying 5 times a day for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30, 40 years. I have yet to experience what you're talking about. What you're talking about, I don't know anything like that. My prayer doesn't feel like that. What's missing? And as I said earlier in the khutbah today, the key missing ingredient to bring about these fruits and these benefits of the prayer, to make your prayer the coolness of your eyes, is khushu'. The Quran calls it khushu'. The Messenger of Allah calls it khushu'. Khushu', it involves a whole discussion to explain the meaning of khushu'. I'll summarize the meaning of khushu' in one word for you for the sake of our discussion so we can move on. I'll summarize it as quality. Gotta have quality in your prayer. Unless and until we don't have quality within our prayers, we won't be able to achieve, we won't be able to realize the full benefits of the prayer. But that leads to the million-dollar question. Why we've all gotten together here. That leads to the million-dollar question, the question that all of us have asked at one point or another, the question, this issue, this topic, this question that we've talked about in lectures and khutbahs, and we've looked up online, and we've read books about, and we've had conversations on the dinner table about, and with our families and friends about, and that is, how do we get quality in our salah? How do we get khushu' within our prayers? How? How do I get quality? I know we've heard 1,000 lectures about the importance of khushu', but we are here to find out, how do I get khushu'? I know I need khushu'. I want khushu'. I know I need quality, and I want that quality in my prayers, but how do I get that quality in my prayers? That's the million-dollar question. So that's what we're going to talk about here now. How to get quality within our prayers. There are lots of things that we can do. Literally, there are books written by the scholars which list dozens and dozens of things that we can do to bring about quality, to bring greater quality, to implement khushu' within our salawat, within our prayers. But to keep the conversation flowing and to keep it brief and concise, I like to group them into all the different things that we can implement to get more khushu' and quality in our prayers. I like to group them into 3 areas of improvement. 3 areas of improvement. Number 1 is, the way I like to describe it is a change of lifestyle. We have to go about in making a change of lifestyle. What that refers to is really very simple. You see, we can't expect to live our lives however we want. That I'm lying and I'm cheating and I'm swearing and I'm backbiting and I'm cussing and I'm this and that. I'm doing 100 different terrible, terrible things all the time throughout my life, throughout my day. And then expect that when I stand up to pray, I stand up for salah, I say Allahu Akbar and magically become khushu'. You don't put on a cape before you pray and say Allahu Akbar. And then it waves in the back. Not Batman, right? Doesn't work that way. They can't put a phone booth outside of the door of the masjid. You just go in the phone booth, pick up your khushu', come on in. Right? Doesn't work like, there's no instant khushu'. There's no instant khushu'. You know when the imam walks up to lead the prayer and he turns on the microphone and says, brother, could you turn on the khushu' generator in the back? No, not that. That's the fan. The next one. Yeah, that one. Turns it on. Khushu' on. Allahu Akbar. Right? We can't take a kid in the community, name him khushu' and just sit him down right there. You sit there, khushu is in the room, Allahu Akbar, hurry up. Right? Then when he grows up, then we got to name some other poor kid khushu. Right? Doesn't work that way. That's not how you get khushu in your salah. It's dealing with a very serious reality. All jokes aside, the way I live my life outside of the prayer, you understand what that means? The way I conduct myself normally throughout my daily activities will impact the quality of my prayers. Better believe it. If I want more quality in my salawat and my prayers, I gotta lead a better life. A more honest life. A more truthful life. I gotta be honest and I gotta be truthful and I gotta cut some of the sins out of my life in order to improve the quality of my prayers. That's the first area of improvement. Number two, second area of improvement is what I like to call make salah an event. Treat salah like an important part of your day. Let me describe. Alright? I'm going to give you a little bit of an example. This is where it gets a little interactive. So come on, work with me, folks. Alright? When you have to go to work, or you have to go to school, because there's some younger folks here, when you have to be at work or be at school by 8 a.m., you have to be at your desk by 8 a.m. You live about 10 minutes away from work. It takes you 10 minutes to get to work. So you try to leave your house at 7:45 a.m. so that you can, drive over there 10 minutes, park your car, make it up there, be at your desk 7:59, ready to roll. If you leave your house at 7:45 a.m., how much before that, let me ask you this way. Do you wake up at 7:40, roll out of bed, walk out the door and just go to work or school like that? Do you do that? Okay, see, when you don't answer, you worry me. Because I'm afraid some of you actually show up to work like that. Alright, so let me clarify. Don't do that. That is the bad. Alright? That's bad. Don't do that. It's a bad economy. Don't give them an excuse to fire you. Alright? You smell terrible. Don't do that. So, typically, honestly, if you have to leave your home at 7:45 a.m., how much before that would you end up waking up to get ready and go for work? Come on, somebody call it out. This is interesting. A lot of the brothers are saying 1 hour. We have a lot of pretty brothers here. MashaAllah. Alright? One time I was asking the same question. Alright? That's why I'm always afraid to ask this question. One time I was asking this question and a sister said 2 hours. I said astaghfirullah. Alright? But anyways, the average answer, I get 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour. The average, you would take about 45 minutes is where it kind of averages out. Some people take a little bit less, half an hour. Some people take a little bit longer, 1 hour. About 45 minutes is the average. You take about 45 minutes. Now I can ask you why, brother? Why are you waking up 45 minutes? Why would you bother to start getting ready at 7 o'clock? Why not get another extra half hour of sleep? Well, you say, well, it's my job. It's important. It's my job. It's important. I got to wake up. I got to brush. I got to shower. I got to wash. I got to clean. I got to comb. I got to eat something, pack my stuff, dress nice. I got to do all that. It's my job. It's my work. I got to take it seriously. And that's why you put that, you invest that time and you treat it, you give it importance. You treat it as something important because it's your job. And that shows in the way you prepare for it. It's an event. It's the most important part of your day. You prepare for it. Now let's compare that to, let's say, Salat al-Fajr. And I realize that that's the most drastic comparison, right? And I am making the most extreme comparison possible to help me make my point. Alright? Let's compare that to Salat al-Fajr. Let me explain to you the proceedings of Salat al-Fajr. First of all, even before you go to sleep, you have the route from your bed to the sink completely mapped out and planned out so you can do it with your eyes closed. Let me explain why. Here comes the interesting part. Let me explain why. Because when you do wake up for Fajr, you don't like to turn all the lights on. Alright, this is something everybody knows, but nobody admits. That's okay, I'll admit it for you. Alright? You don't like to turn all the lights on because it takes the sleepiness away. You know what I'm talking about? Because you need to be able to pray Fajr and go back to sleep. Right? So you make your way over there with your eyes closed in the dark. You make it over there to your sink. You have perfected the art of the 15-second wudu. At this point, it's like a magic trick. Boom. Right? Now no wudu, now you got wudu. Right there. Alright? Instant. Alright? You make your super minimal instant wudu. MashaAllah, Mr. Green conserving water. Right? And then you make your way back over to your bed and you pray right next to your bed. And then you engage in a procedure that I like to call stop, drop, and roll over. Salam, salam. You would pray on your bed if possible. On your bed. Again, just to keep it lively, I'm joking, but to rein it back in, how sad is that though, right? That's the condition of our salah. That's the condition of our prayers. Right? That's how we pray today. You know, and other examples. This is Houston, all right? You guys are somewhat familiar with sports. Kind of, sort of. Win another game, then I'll give you some credit. All right? Texans fans, easy there. All right? Home of the Dallas Mavericks, champions, right? Keep it down. All right? But, so, even when we watch a game, what's the quality of our prayer? First of all, it's a blessing if somebody actually prays during the game. But even if they do pray during the game, what happens? What's that quality of that prayer? Right? Quality of that prayer is like, first of all, as we wait for a timeout or a commercial. And as soon as the timeout or the commercial goes, let's go, come on, hurry up, we have to pray. And then one guy's like, yo bro, I gotta go make wudu. It's like, man, it's always you. Be ready next break. And then we go over and we pray, and we leave the volume just a little bit on so we can hear something big time after the game. Right? So it's like... And then if we accidentally ask Hafiz out to lead the prayer, and he gets up there and he says, Alif Lam. It's like, oh no, who asked him to lead the salah? Right? That's how we pray, unfortunately. And I mean, I joke just to keep it lively, but we have to realize what a tragedy that is. How sad that truly is that we pray like this. Compared to how seriously we take everything else. So the second area of improvement to gain quality and khushu in our salah is treat salah as something important. Treat salah as something important. Make it an important part of your day. What that involves is, number one, prepare. Get ready. Go and make wudu properly. Wudu is an act of ibadah, it's an act of worship that leads into the prayer, that puts you in the right mindset for the prayer. Free up yourself. Pray when it is the time of the prayer. Don't keep putting it off. Yeah, when I get around to it, when I get done with this, when I get done with that, when I get done. No. Have the time of prayer fixed upon yourself. Go and make your wudu properly. You know, dress like for Fajr, like what I was talking about. Dress appropriately, change. Don't pray in your PJs. Honestly, somebody goes, oh, the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, you know how we have work clothes? You know how we have work clothes? And what do you do when you get home from work? What do? You change, you take them off because they're your nice work clothes. You don't want to mess them up. You put them on before you go to work in the morning and you take them off as soon as you get home. The Prophet ﷺ had clothes for the masjid. When he come home, he'd take them off, hang them up nicely. And when it was time for the prayer, he'd put them on. You know, it describes the entire, there's a chapter in the Sunnah of Abu Dawood which describes the procedure of the Prophet ﷺ's preparation for prayer. Bab ihtimam Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam bis-salah. The chapter about the Prophet ﷺ's, you know, care, the diligence that the Prophet ﷺ had in regards to prayer. The preparation that he would make for the prayer. And it describes that when the time of the prayer would come, the adhan would be called, it's like he would become, the Prophet was very casual and loving and friendly at home. He was very casual and loving and friendly at home. He'd do work in the house,